Recording in progress.
What it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy Andrew Schultz, aka Mr. Goody Two Shoes. And who am I with? Joseph Huggins, aka Old Man Huggie. Talk shit or get off the pod. Episode 74. These 99 Chinese balloons go by. Welcome, motherfuckers.
I want to sing the 99, 99, like red balloons or whatever, but like I don't feel like I could do it and not have it be like, if I tried to sing it in like an Asian accent, it would be wildly inappropriate. So I don't think I can do that.
Well, you could do the German accent, like, the original gangster.
Yeah, you could, but I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess, yeah. I don't know. I guess I just wanted to do a socially unacceptable Asian accent. But 74, 99 Chinese balloons. This has been a crazy couple of days off.
Kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Was that the name of the first episode?
Third.
Okay, sorry, I had to cut you out because whenever hold on.
What do you like, Joey from Full House?
No, because I have you. I think I've talked about this before, but my screen to my right is fucking huge. It's like a 34-inch ultra wide. It's like curved, and then I have this vertical screen in front of me, and then pretty soon I'll have a third vertical screen that'll be behind me. Well, because I have you up, I have the notes up, but I have to put you on full screen. So if I don't cover it with the Discord server and just nonsense, then it's like I have a little version of us and I have this mega version and I end up staring at it. So I have to turn it off or cover it to divert my attention. A lot of shit, man. It takes a lot, man. You'd be surprised.
I mean, I get why you'd want to start the big one because I'm a good looking podcaster, ain't trying to flex.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
That's right.
But how have you been, man? You doing good? A little late today.
Yeah. I was
give you some
caught up in a poker tournament that lasted longer than I thought. But I won.
I was like, that's a good thing. Normally that means you win, right? Or you at least make money if it lasts longer than you thought.
Yeah, well, the top three won, and we were down to the final four whenever we were supposed to start. But I cleaned that up. You know how it is.
Okay. Well, and for listeners, I guess nobody knows this, but every time we do the shows, I get on and I have things prepped and you get things prepped and then both of our cameras are off. So at one point I was sitting here and I just turned my camera off and you joined and then turned yours on and then off. And I saw you for a second. It was super weird. But that, like I said, that happens on this mega display by me. So I was typing shit out and I was like, wait, what? Did I just see you? No, I didn't. Maybe I did. So it's a trip.
Well, I mean, the video comes on automatically whenever I log in.
Oh, so, really? It gives me the I guess it's your meeting.
Yeah. Turn the TikTok camera on. I got shit to say.
Hey, man, it's banned in state. I mean, because Greg Abbott was like, I'm gonna ban TikTok in Texas if you work for the government, but I'm gonna make it sound broad and general as fuck. To freak people out. There was also a picture of him. He's tweeted a video of him at the border where they're putting up this big fence. And it's fucking stupid because he has this little sign next to him that's securing the border. But I mean, it's a little British license plate or some shit. It's this little skinny ass thing, and he's just sitting there. And the whole time I'm watching this video, I'm like, I just want one of those to just oh no, I'm they can't get him out of the way in time.
Whoa! He was sitting there. That doesn't sound like him.
No, definitely.
Asleep at the wheels.
Yeah.
Asleep at the wheels. It's like Greg Abbott.
But yeah, no,
Buster.
he announced that, totally off topic and not an article. But yeah, today he announced that he's building more border wall and that he's banning TikTok if you work. It sounded statewide, but it's just if you work for the government.
Well, small government, right?
Yeah,
And the Chinese balloon is just going to bring TikTok to
that's
you
the
guys,
TikTok
regardless.
balloon. I have a theory. I'm gonna tell you right now. It all ties together, man. You get the balloon. You got TikTok. You got Putin. You got 19C19. Come on, man. Pete, put it together, man. Come on.
Oh my God! I mean, we'll get into the.
You should join my Saturday conspiracy theory group. We host it at the Cracker Barrel. You know what I'm saying? Go figure. Guess where it is? Gun Barrel, Texas, baby. So come on out. Get
But
you some
no,
eggs and
because the Cracker Barrel doesn't have wheelchair access, so you can't even go. You just have to like.
No, they do. No, because I mean, think the last Cracker Barrel I went to was like attached to a gas station. I don't know. I was in like a scary part of town, or it was in close enough proximity to a gas station. You would assume they were attached, but like maybe they weren't. I don't know. Like a inaccessible alley existed between the two, and they definitely had wheelchair access. So I've seen it.
Greg Abbott puts the cracker in Cracker Barrel.
I wonder if he's a huge advocate for wheelchair access. I feel like he would be.
Nah, because that makes him look weak.
It's so bush league to make fun of him, but like he's such a schmuck.
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, I'm not trying. We don't want to like besmirch his disability because people with disabilities that's difficult. But he's like a dick, and I feel
I'm not besmirching people with disabilities. I'm besmirching Greg Abbott, who happens
to be disability. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's fair enough.
It would be actually offensive if we pulled punches and making fun of him because he was disabled. Like I'm treating him like just a normal asshole.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So going above belt, below belt, it doesn't matter because he's just a douche. That's fair. Okay, I feel better about it now. Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, you don't get a pass because you're disabled.
Yeah.
If you're a dick, you're a dick.
Yeah, that is true. That is extremely true. Touche.
Yeah. I'm woke. All right. Yeah.
Based, dude. Based.
So as we do, y'all, we start with therapy questions. Now, Joseph, here we go. Therapy question number 1. What movie would be greatly improved if it was made into a musical?
I know movies that could be improved if they weren't. Like Grease would be like hardcore. There'd be like fights. No, if there was no music, there's so many topics in Grease 1 and 2, that if it's not a musical, it's like arguably the most inappropriate movie that's ever existed. That movie would be like rated R, potentially NC-17, especially the second one.
Well, that's funny because the movie that I have also stars John Travolta.
What is it, Face Off? That'd be awesome.
No, I just like a great movie in its own right, but imagine if Pulp Fiction was a musical.
Yeah, that would be like if Matt Stone and Trey Parker wrote that before Quentin Tarantino did. They probably would have made it a musical.
Right, and like there's like when like Travolta's like on the heroin and he's dancing and there's just so many, and then like he's dancing with Uma Thurman, there's already like musical, like the soundtrack is like fire.
Yeah, so and it would be something where like maybe they would be like singing, but no one else would hear them because it'd be in their own head, but they'd be able to hear each other. Now that's some Tarantino shit. They'd be like, I could hear you.
Yeah, Tarantino, get on a musical. What are you doing?
Now that I say it though, like and like that collab, Face Off, Nicolas Cage and John Travolta would be an epic musical. Who am I? Where is my face? Like it'd be like absurd. Put his face on me or I'll kill you.
I can eat a peach for hours.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Castor Troy. Oh, I'm gonna pretend like that's my boy. I'm actually a good guy, but I'm really bad. Oh man, I miss being a real dad. But they didn't take away my scar. And I'd be like, the whole dude. That would be epic if Face Off was a musical. Oh my god.
And then it gets like baritone. It's like, I want you to take his face off.
Yeah. Dude, I watched that movie recently. It's so bad that it's good. It's so good.
I'm saying it's not bad. It is just good.
Yeah, but it was at that point where they were like, "Hey, we can do cool shit in action movies and make slow mo look like more poetic." That's a John Woo movie where he was just like, "Oh, we're gonna hang on this boat.
Shout out.
I'm gonna shoot you with a harpoon gun." That movie was fucking wild, and that was peak Nicolas Cage. Face Off, The Rock, because The Rock was insane too. They're just like driving
Con Air.
Yeah, Con Air. Peak Nick Cage was wild. That was
I don't think I don't
time.
think that there is a peak Nick Cage because he's never come down from his peak.
True, but I'd say like mainstream blockbuster, like you would be like, who are the top actors? You'd be like Tom Cruise, John Travolta, Nicolas Cage. Now he does awesome stuff, but he does like really cool, like more artsy pieces. He does indie stuff where he does a lot of cool stuff that you normally wouldn't see him do. And then his like a movie where he plays himself, like that's even better. Like he's just
but no, it's because he can't get a big role anymore. But he was literally the highest paid actor at one point in the.
No. Like that's what I'm saying. Is like
box office.
Like that was that. Like when he was highest paid, that's like peak. That's what I'm saying. Is like, but he'll still do stuff. He commands a big thing, but he's way choosy and he does weird projects and off the wall stuff like The Color of Night or.
I mean, was it adaptation? Was
Weekend at
awesome.
Willie's or Night at Willie's, where that's a horror movie where he doesn't say anything. He says no words that whole movie. Just chugs soda, plays a pinball machine, and kills fucking evil possessed automatronic like dolls.
You know his crazy. You know they had like an entire script for him, and he was like probably just difficult. He's like, no, I'm not gonna say a fucking word in the movie. Deal with it.
Like he does.
I'm Nick Cage.
Yeah.
I bought a dinosaur egg for $4 million and then went bankrupt because I'm Nick Cage.
And now like rebounded hard. Like he's like if he's a cameo in anything, it's great. He's just funny. He's just like he's become a character. He's become a character of himself. Therefore, like and he's like it's come full circle where he's okay with it and we've accepted it and like. He's back, but I was never like down. I was always like, dude, he's crushing it. I fucking love him. And then he didn't know what National Treasure, and then it just kind of.
Well, that's what I was going to tell you. Did you know that he was at the January 6th insurrection, and he just wanted to infiltrate the Capitol so he could get some like artwork that had like some secrets in it.
Oh, I'm sure, dude. Tom Hanks was there. He just happened to be there. He was chasing. Something that the Vatican had buried underneath the Capitol building to unlock the keys to time.
Yeah, he convinced Trump to incite the insurrection so that he could just use it as cover so he can go get the secrets.
Talk about a good multiverse cameo. If you had like something like that where that version of Tom Hanks and someone else like they like jumped universes and it was like the universe where National Treasure actually happened, that'd be funny. Or you got all of them in that character in the same room, and Mark Wahlberg for like Uncharted, and it was all like, "Hey, what are you doing here? I'm hunting for treasure." I don't know.
Well, you're talking about Tom Hanks in the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Vatican buried something underneath the Capitol building, and I had to be here on January 6th.
There's a flaw because it's all about the Catholic Church, and they don't believe in multiverses. So
I'm just imagining him explaining in character from like Angels and Demons and stuff, where he's like on some like 4chan board trying to like infiltrate a white supremacist group so he can go to the Capitol and break in and like steal some, and he's like trying to explain it and he's like labbing hardcore overnight.
But the first time I ever heard about QAnon was my coworker in her cubicle, like 3 cubicles down, was like, Tom Hanks is a pedophile. And I was like on the phone and I like got up and I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? And then she was like, oh yeah. And then
they go into that whole thing. That was the whole thing.
It was the very beginning though, like, you know, like before QAnon was like mainstream. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I found out, like, I went down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we don't want to dive too deep into it because they'll get shut down on anything.
But it's just funny because the insurrectionists are like QAnon supporters, so they're not, so they don't want Tom Hanks like, you know, rolling deep with them.
Oh no, definitely. But in this, it'd be Tom Hanks's character. Yeah, obviously they would be like, "Hey, get out of here!"
Like
he's
Nick Cage
he's
Antifa. Fit in,
yeah, Nick Cage. They wouldn't care. They'd be like, "Your leather jacket's so cool. Where'd you get that?"
Yeah,
he'd be like, "It's Velociraptor."
And I'm gone in 60 seconds.
Yeah. And you look over, and then there'd be, what's her name?
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie with her white dreads. I remember when that movie came out, though. That was pretty tight. First movie I ever bought on DVD. Paid $50 for it. Fast and Furious.
Does Angelina Jolie get shit for cultural appropriation for having the dreads?
I don't think so. That was before that was a big deal, so no one brought it up. But in hindsight, in retrospect, that's like, that's kind of
Well,
cultural appropriation.
My boy on Bad Grandpa, he like rocked cornrows, and he got so much shit, and like to this day he has to like apologize, even though he was playing a fucking character on a movie.
Yeah, but there was a period of time where, like, I think everybody we grew up with at some point had cornrows. If they were a girl,
No,
and they
not-
went not guys, but girls
Wow.
when they went and they'd come back from spring break, like, oh my god,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
took
exactly.
hours, it hurts.
I went to the Bahamas.
I went to the
Jamaica.
Bahamas. My dad took me there, and I got
Oh my
this
god!
done.
I got this henna tattoo and
there's-
these braids.
And you're like, we're 8. Like, what do you got? A henna tattoo? Who are your parents? What are you doing?
I don't know. Like braids. Put a Storm from X-Men tattoo. I had like a temporary one. I had him put it on my ass cheek when I was like 7.
Well, that's a temp tattoo, and that's Storm Dog. I mean,
Wasn't
come on,
I mean
bro.
that's basically a henna tattoo, right?
No, I think it lasts longer.
Well, hennas do. I mean, well, on my ass cheek, it probably lasted a while. I don't know.
I
I
don't
never.
know.
I,
I
I
don't know
mean,
how
I
often
never
you
saw it.
wa-
I
ru-
never saw when it disappeared. You know, it's just gone.
It was probably gone pretty quickly.
It might still be there. I don't really like look at my ass. Like, you know, I can't see it.
It was meant to be temporary and became permanent. Well, you know,
Yeah.
you could do worse. You could have worse X-Men.
That's true. I was really into her.
I mean, you always had a thing for chocolate, I suppose.
She brings the storm, and then
Well,
also
and that
Nick
aged well
Cage-
because it ended up being Halle Berry, so that aged well.
yeah, and then Nick Cage comes in as the weatherman. You know, to bring it full circle.
Touche.
All right. Therapy question number 2. What would be the creepiest thing you could say while passing a stranger on the street?
See, and I've had this theory. I've tested out things where it's like there's certain things that you could say that would be creepy if you drop them in just casual conversation. Like if we were talking and I was like, "Oh man, you should really like use that extra blanket next to your chair when you sleep because you always look super cold." Right? That makes you pause. Like, wait, what the
Oh,
fuck,
yeah,
bro?
I'm talking about a stranger.
So
but
you could
I-
say something like that to a stranger, like walking by. I mean, it'd be like, "I see you." You'd have to like try to come up with something that was.
I've done this. I've done this before.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm walking by a stranger, and I just go, "I was thinking the exact same thing," and then just keep walking.
That's pretty weird.
Yeah, I know, and creepy.
Yeah, that's pretty creepy. That makes them pause and think for a second, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what to say to that.
Yeah, yeah, good. Because I don't need a rebuttal. I'm just here to fuck your day up.
Yeah, that'd be weird. Touche.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else you could say that would really be creep other than like it'd all be like basic surface level shit. Like, I'm watching you.
Yeah.
I like ketchup on waffles. And then you just walk away. It's you'd have to be super obscure that it didn't make sense that would make them uncomfortable and confused, or it'd have to be something spot on. Like yours is good because it's generic and broad, so it just makes them pause no matter what. Otherwise, you'd have to be spot on.
Yeah, or you could just be like, "You're being followed,"
Or you'd be like, yeah.
or like, "You're being followed. Meet me at the park."
There's this really good, it's one of my favorite clips. It's this Eric Andre clip, and they would just get people coming out of the fucking like grocery store, and they'd walk out, and it'd be like a news crew. Then it'd just be like 15 people with cameras and microphones, like rushing somebody, and they'd be like, "Is it true? Is it true? Are the pictures real?" And people are like, "What? Like, what is going on?" And then Hannibal Buress would sweep out of nowhere and be like, "Hey, back up, get away from my client." And they'd be like, "What?" And they'd just be like shouting random shit at these people. But it'd start off like, "Is it true?" And just stick a microphone in their face. And they have like 15 cameras like it's TMZ.
Another
What is what true? Are the rumors? Are they true? Are the pictures real, ma'am? Are they real? Point blank.
another thing
I
I've
don't know what
done
you're talking
before.
about.
another thing I've done before, which this is like adjacent to creepy. You go up and you go up and mistake somebody for an ugly celebrity. Like,
Mistake them for an ugly celebrity? Okay.
yeah, like, are you Mama June? Like when like
Are you Mama June? Yeah, that would offend anybody. I don't know if that's gonna scare them. I think they're gonna be like, "Fuck you."
Gilbert Godfrey. Gilbert Godfrey.
There's someone who does that. Gerald Houston. He walks up to random people and he's like, "Hey, oh shit, 2 Chains," and it's like some random person at Arby's. They're like, "Dude, get the fuck away from me."
Well, that's like, well, is that person white? Because
anybody, he does do it to anyone. He'll just name out random people.
No, I'm just saying, like, me going up to a black person and confusing them for like a rapper would be like problematic.
But, yeah, like, that could be. Well, they could go. They'd either laugh, get really mad, or they wouldn't correct you and they'd be like, "Hell yeah, dog. Like, yeah, what's up with my picture, dog?" Like that's another thing, because like I've had, so way back in the day, I was at work one time and these super drunk college girls, this is in Austin, and these frat dudes. I was sitting there in some aviators and I was just like drinking a margarita or something at the bar by myself, and this dude comes up and he's like, "Hey man, like, you're Lenny Kravitz, right? Because like my girls are freaking out. We want to buy you a drink and buy you a shot. Is that cool?" And I work with the person across from me at the bar, and they look at me, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm just like trying to be left alone. But if you want to buy me like a shot or something, I appreciate it." They're like, "Oh yeah, dude." And they bought me one at the bar, and then everyone at the table was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "What?"
You're like, "American woman."
Yeah, I was like, "What? Like this? What?" And it was weird because I was
He's
sitting
so
there.
much older than us. What are you talking? Like
that's what I'm saying. I was like, "How could you confuse me for that?"
I thought black didn't crack, man.
But this was back in, I was probably like 23, 24.
Yeah, and he was probably like
40 something. Yeah, exactly. So it was like, what? But they were wasted. I just rolled with it. I got a free drink out of it. Got to hang out. But then the girl that was bartending, who I worked with, was like, "You're such a piece of shit." Because I just got off work. Like, I worked there. So I like got off work. And then
why are you a piece of shit?
Because I was like, yeah. I tried to like be cool about it.
Yeah, you're just like rolling with it.
It's like, yeah, it's all good. Don't worry about. I didn't talk like Michael Jackson, but pretty close to it.
You didn't go out of your way and tell somebody you were fucking.
No, I did not.
Right. So it's like, if somebody's gonna come up and like, think that I'm like whoever the fuck, like, I'm just like, yeah.
Are you Gilbert Godfrey?
Oh my God, Gilbert Godfrey.
Holy shit, Louis Anderson. What? The ghost of Louis Anderson? Show me spatula. Like, that would be epic. No, there's a couple times where I've like seen some people, I'm like, "Whoa, that motherfucker looks just like somebody," and it'll trip me out. And normally it's not good, so you normally don't want to say it anyways,
Out here in LA, when that happens to you, it is that person usually. Like, when I was at like the House of Blues, and Scarlett Johansson walked in between me and my homie, and I was just like, "That's Scarlett Johansson." And I look up, and he's got like the biggest, widest eyes, and he's like, "Scarlett Johansson?" And I was like, but like, I was like, "Scarlett Johansson?" I'm like, "No." And then it's like, of course it is. Like, we're like in like West Hollywood at the House of Blues, like
being all bougie. Of course it's her.
Well, my buddy was like doing a jazz set there. We also saw Dan Aykroyd that day because he owns it.
Hell yeah, Dan Aykroyd's awesome.
It was like in the hallway. He came out of like a room, and he was wearing jean shorts and combat boots.
Well, he's a big conspiracy theorist, big
really?
UFO. Dan Aykroyd, bro, there's a whole documentary. It's incredible. It's Dan Aykroyd sitting in a dark room, power smoking cigarettes, talking about aliens and UFOs for like 2.5 hours.
How is that a conspiracy?
Well, no, it's not that it's a conspiracy. It's just like Dan Aykroyd being like, aliens are fucking real, and just like going off and like straight up.
He knows.
Power smoking cigarettes.
Conehead, bro.
Power smoking cigarettes. And it's like darkly lit, and it's like he's got this vest. It's incredible. I love that movie. I've watched it like 4 times.
What, Conehead?
He's like, "Oh, no, the Dan Aykroyd being Dan Aykroyd talking about aliens." And it's like, I don't know who filmed it, but he's just sitting there like, "Yeah, they're fucking everywhere, man." And he's just like, it's epic.
He probably got Jim Belushi to film it. He's like, "Listen, you son of a bitch. I brought you on after your brother died. Film me."
Yeah, it's really good. It used to be on maybe Amazon or Netflix, but I watched it and I was like, "What is this?" It's like Dan Aykroyd talks about aliens. So I put it on and was like, "Holy shit!"
Free plug, Dan.
He's like the original Tom DeLonge from Blink-182. DeLonge, the guy, because he's all about UFOs too. He's got like a UFO group, but Dan Aykroyd's been into aliens since like the 70s, man.
Well, shout out.
Yeah, shout out. All right, let's get into the next question.
Therapy question number 3. If your 5-year-old self suddenly found themselves inhabiting your current body, what would your 5-year-old self do first?
5-year-old me?
That was literally in the question. Like,
no, I know. I'm just trying to think. Like 5 years old, I'd probably tell everyone to shut up. I think when I was 5.
Is that what you did when you were 5?
Yeah, no, when I was 5, that's when, like, I mean, this will be like some deep shit, but when I was 5, that's when my parents got divorced. So it was like, I don't really, like, I genuinely don't remember my parents even being married. Like, that, like, doesn't exist. I remember, like, there's, like, glimpses and fragments, and I have a really good memory. Glimpses and fragments. It was, like, right before I was really making solid memories. So I, like, remember them being divorced, and then that's kind of where my memories take off as a kid. So I'd probably go like be really angry and confused and ask a shit ton of questions. 5-year-old me took over my body. I'd probably go like bark at my mom, bark at my dad, try to figure out what was going on, and tell everyone to shut up.
I'm not kidding. Like, just like the other day, a 5-year-old kid, I don't know if he was exactly 5, but basically told me to shut up, and I wasn't even talking. The fuck?
Yeah, no, they can be dicks. So I would be like a mega
Shut
dick.
up.
And I was a dick too. So like 5 is when they were getting divorced. So that's when I was like angry all the time, I guess. And I was like, fuck everybody. But I was like a kid, like little kid, but I was confused and angry. So yeah, 5-year-old me'd be like, fuck you, would like be on some shit. Probably wouldn't say it like that. It'd be way more like childish and I'd sound like a moron, but I'd be very angry probably.
This same 5-year-old kid who told me to shut up, I was eating popcorn at the time. I started choking on like a kernel, and he just stared at me like in the eyes. He didn't say anything. He would have just sat there and watched me die. This kid is evil, dude.
What is this evil kid you're hanging around? Was he just watching you when you were in public choking on popcorn on the verge of death? Did you go back to the movie theater?
No.
And kid's like the only person that saw you freaking out?
No.
He's like, look at this motherfucker right here.
He's like, I remember your ass in Avatar.
He's about to take a piss right here in this movie theater. I hope nobody gets up and helps him. I'd move, but this movie is scaring the shit out of me right now because you're 5. No, what would your 5-year-old you do?
I was like a very sweet boy when I was like that young. So I'd probably just like, I don't know, just be nice to people. I don't think that I really knew, like, probably like a computer game or something, like go play it. Like,
yeah, I could do that. I'd probably
because my dad got me into like computer games like early.
Is that Braids?
Yeah.
Oh, Braids. About to do the Kramer walkthrough. He's what?
I just got back from yoga.
Ah, squatting dog.
Squatting? No, it's not squatting.
Oh, there he is. Your Kramer appearance. He's like this podcast man on the couch. If this was step by step, he would be like our Cody that lives in the basement and hangs out and has the van. And is like, hey, dude, what's up, y'all? Do you remember that?
Yeah, but the man on the couch is from Half Baked, I thought.
Well, I know, but they're just like supplemental characters. Although Cody had like way more of a backstory. But either way, they're just like there and in passing constantly. You never really see them. When they're there. That's Braids, man.
Yeah, shout out.
He needs to be a guest sometime.
I doubt that will ever happen.
Probably.
All right. Final therapy question. Therapy question number 4. Is ketchup a smoothie since tomatoes are fruit?
See, you started out so good with the first 3, and this one's stupid. No, it's not.
I didn't have
It's not a smoothie. It's not a smoothie. If anything,
Why?
It's a puree. Because it's used as a topping. You're not drinking it with a straw. You're not
Well,
drinking
you
it with a
could.
straw. I
You
mean,
could.
that'd be gross. I'm having a ketchup smoothie. Yeah, that could exist.
I mean, aren't there like tomato?
But you would have to do something other than just that. You'd have to be ice with it. So to be a smoothie, it'd have to be like it'd have to be cut with ice. To where
That's
it's
right.
where it's that ratio that makes it like not a slushy but a smoothie, right?
Yeah.
Probably like yogurt or something, maybe like vanilla yogurt, ice, and ketchup. So yes, you could, but by itself, it's just a puree. It's just a condiment. It's a topping,
Okay.
right?
I mean, it's cereal soup. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not. We've already
Is
talked
is
about
is a
this.
hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
Yes. Why?
It falls underneath the broad category of sandwich because sandwich is an umbrella. As a panini a sandwich? Yes, but that's a whole different subsection. That's a sandwich that's, flat grilled and pressed with little cool lines in it. That's a completely different thing, right?
Yeah, but it was a sandwich to begin with.
Yeah, but a hot dog is still, so it's meat put between two pieces of bread or a bun that would be considered. Because if you consider like a hoagie or something like that that's split down the center and stuffed, a sandwich, then so is a hot dog. Because they're almost the same. And you could do a hot dog in a different type of bun, and then just a little bit wider, right? It's a sandwich. It's under the big umbrella of sandwich, and then there's different
Yeah, I don't
subsections
know.
underneath that.
This sounds un-American.
What? No,
Just
this is sandwich capitalism. This is American. God damn it. Who do you think you are telling me?
well, I think the difference is it's because it's a tube of meat as opposed to like sliced or diced.
Wait, you're saying what?
Like a hot dog is a tube of meat, and that's what differentiates it from a sandwich. So like if you had a bratwurst and a bun,
Yeah, but isn't
you're
that
calling
just
that a sandwich?
Yeah, because that's all you're doing is still processing meat, but it's put in that to contain the inside. So I mean, there's like almost like a sleeve to it, right? Or if it's like a bratwurst, something like that, it's not just boop, there it is. It's processed and then packed and put into that shape, correct?
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, so I'm saying
And,
it's,
and
it's a
therefore,
it's a sandwich.
therefore, it's no longer.
But that's the
sandwich.
meat content. That's different. So hot dogs and hot dogs would be a different section underneath sandwiches. They're all sandwiches. Handheld bread, protein, condiments.
You know who probably else thinks like hot dogs are sandwiches? George Santos.
No, he invented it. He would have
Uh,
invented the
I know.
sandwich, the original sandwich.
No. He invented hot dogs and distinctly said they are not sandwiches.
Maybe.
You know, he's like under like
Mega investigation. Yeah. Oh yeah. George Santos update. He like
he,
stepped down from all of his committees.
well, he did that, but also now he's one of these people who he tried to hire onto his staff. So they're calling it an ex prospective staffer. He's sexually harassed.
Dude, he's such a shit show.
I know.
But like I said, he's like the apex of the mountain of like what
He's like
that party has become. And I mean, and not just that party. You could also say the left as well. And like these
Like what?
anybody who's in politics. Hold on, because we had what's her name, Simia, out in Arizona, who ran on a Democratic platform just to change parties. Tulsi Gabbard. We can't sit there and act like people.
No. Back up. Totally different. She changed parties because she knows that she won't get reelected as a Democrat.
No, I know that, but what I'm saying is there have been bad actors in
She's not a bad
recent years.
actor. She's just a weirdo.
No, and I mean she's like she's held up votes on almost everything for concessions. I mean she's just as bad as what?
But Manchin.
Yeah, Manchin.
Yeah, they were paying in our ass, but at the same time, they still voted for it at the end.
Yeah, after they got their concessions. I'm just
Yeah,
saying that there's
it's
people
called
on both
politics.
sides of the aisle who
Like she bothers me. She's just not
hold
George
on.
Santos.
Let me finish. I didn't say. I said he is the apex of the mountain. So I'm saying he is the embodiment of all of the bullshit that the left and the right have all partaken in over the past couple of years, whether we agree with their stances or don't, or we agree with how they voted. They've all misrepresented themselves from time to time. They've all flip-flopped. Obama was anti-gay marriage, and then he's pro-gay marriage. But I'm saying people change, but we've all seen, and he's also like the drone king of the world. I mean, that's like unavoidable. But
Yeah, but
no,
he
but what
also
I'm saying is,
wasn't
but
like he didn't campaign against drones,
no,
and also he
I'm
was
not.
always
That's
for gay marriage. He just was like, yo, you guys got a black president, so let me give you like
no, I
some
know. So what
time.
I'm saying is he basically lied and said that he was against it for the simple fact that so that he could get more people to vote for him and he could get elected. And he changed his stance over time because he realized that the social climate changed and
Well, no,
society had moved past that point. But
actually, what happened was Biden, his vice president, went up into a like was given a speech and then said he was for gay marriage, and this is like the one time that Obama and Biden got like into a serious fight. Like Obama was so pissed off that Biden said he was for gay marriage before Obama did,
well, okay. I
and so
mean,
so that's actually what forced his hand to do it.
well, and I get that. Either way, I'm saying he misrepresented himself at one point and said he was in one direction, and then he changed it over time, which we agree with. I'm not saying that it wasn't a bad move for him to do that. I agree with that decision, but I agreed with it whenever he was like, I don't know. So that's all I'm saying is, so Santos is the apex of where he's lied about being black, Jewish, straight, gay. He has like 9 different names. So I'm saying he's the embodiment of all of that bullshit that we've ever seen from anyone. From Bill Clinton getting BJ's in the Oval Office and lying about it. I'm just saying to George W. Bush lying about something, or Al Gore saying he invented the internet, even though he had a slight hand, he didn't invent the fucking internet by himself. What I'm just saying is George Santos is like the embodiment. He's the goulash of bullshit that is our current politics. He represents everything that is wrong with our political system right now.
I just don't feel like that we're comparing like equal things.
Well, I'm not
It's like
saying it's
it's
not
like
about comparing
yeah,
equal acts.
I
What I'm just
I
saying,
lied about a blowjob. I didn't know that I had to even lie about it. Like, why were we even talking about
what
it?
I'm, but what I'm not trying to compare and contrast the actions. It's the fact that they lied about something and what
Okay,
they've lied about. So I'm just saying,
everybody's lied in the world.
and everybody's lied in the world, and
George
everybody in
Santos doing
politics.
something totally different
I
though.
know, but it's the fact that he's lied about everything. It's
Right?
not like
He's
it's
like
not that
Donald
he's
Trump. Like Donald Trump is the good comparison
no,
here.
but he's past Donald Trump. He's
No,
beyond. Yes, he is, because Donald Trump actually owns a business. Donald Trump
does he?
actually owns didn't say he owned 13 properties and was living in his sister's apartment. Donald
No,
Trump actually
Donald Trump
owns.
does he? Or does he just slap his name on it?
Well,
And also,
whatever. He's actually got.
didn't his business get dissolved?
Well, yeah, the Trump Organization in New York State of New York. Yeah,
Trump
absolutely.
steaks, Trump college. It's like, come on,
You're
man.
you can't know because George Santos
Trump
never had
can't.
any of it. So
Trump will lie, and he'll say two different things in the same sentence.
George Santos is a bigger liar than Donald Trump.
I don't think so.
We don't know if George Santos is even his real name. To the
It's
point to
not.
where
It's not.
okay, then it's not. Like another government is looking for him for fraud because they thought he died or went missing. Nobody's like, where's
That's on.
Donald
That's
Trump?
on.
There's that guy. I thought he was dead, and there he is.
That's on Brazil.
We're
That's on
looking
Brazil.
for him. No,
And
that's like
shut up, Brazil. They listen.
nah,
to
man.
Fox.
He's like I'm saying Donald Trump's terrible. I'm not saying I think he's like the biggest liar that's ever been president. But
Thank
if
you.
George Santos became president, he would be a bigger liar because everything from his school to his mom dying in 9/11 to his grandparents being in the Holocaust. Dude, this dude's lied about every single facet of his life. Donald Trump
Hey,
at least
don't forget. He also played volleyball for Baruch College.
yeah, and won a national championship.
No, they didn't win a national championship, but beat Yale and Harvard.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Shout out.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's to a level that it's like Donald Trump is like, oh, I have bone spurs, I can't go. Like we knew who he was when he like at. You can put him on a timeline and track him. George Santos just appears in New York, and now there's all these people like, hey, that's my ex-husband, and he owes me money. Or hey, we've been looking for that dead guy. There he is. Like he's lied about every single facet. Donald Trump was never a drag queen, and then lied about it, and then.
Okay, so this is a good lead in then, because our first topic is the Chinese spy balloon. Now, the Pentagon has come out and said this happened 3 times while Trump was president, because Trump's been like truthing, that's what they call it, not tweeting, but sending out truths on Truth Social, his platform, giving Biden shit for like letting this happen. Like whatever. But then the Pentagon came out and said that it happened 3 times under Trump, uh, once in Hawaii, once in Guam, once in Florida, and now all of his lackeys are out there and they're like, no, that's not true, that didn't happen. He's like, we would have known if that happened, we didn't, and we don't know that that happened, so it didn't happen. So it's like, oh, because you guys are so fucking dumb and ignorant, like the like of what was going on at the time, that's your excuse. Like, so I'm just, and Trump probably did know and he just didn't say anything because he's a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're saying is that it's happened multiple times. This isn't the first time. There's people,
Specifically under Trump's
yeah,
presidency.
like they, yeah, then they have like, it's like people with intimate knowledge to the fact being like, yeah, no, this has happened before, and they didn't shoot them down at all. So I mean, it's
Exactly.
yeah, like they just left them be, which is super interesting. I
Well,
mean,
the right wing assholes are like trying to give Biden shit for not shooting it down. They're like, China's embarrassing Biden by, like, just flexing on him with this balloon. And it's like, okay, he said to shoot it down on Wednesday. The military was like, uh, I don't think we should because there's three fucking payload on it that's the size of 3 buses that could just fall on somebody. And then you're telling me that if Biden had a spy balloon that went over China and the Chinese shot it down, they would be like, oh, Biden, you're flexing on China. No, they would be like, there would be like 8 months of investigations on how Biden could let this happen and get clowned by like the Chinese for shooting down one of our spy balloons. But he does the exact same thing, like to the Chinese balloon, and they're like, oh, China punked you. China punked you.
yeah, I know Ted Cruz was like, I commend him for doing the right thing. I mean, that's just goofy. They say it's a weather balloon.
Yeah, obviously not. But
Obviously
also,
not.
imagine if they shot it down when it was like over Montana and it like hit one child.
Oh yeah, he
They
obviously
they
had
would
to wait.
they would impeach him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what
No, I mean
they
it's a lose at all costs. It doesn't matter what he does; they're going to grill him for it, and it's never going to
exactly.
be
So
enough.
that's so yeah. So it's irrelevant what they have to say because like what they're into is owning the libs. They don't actually care like that this balloon was here. They're just like, well, whatever he is doing, we're gonna just talk shit about it. Like it doesn't
Imagine
matter
being
if
the.
it's what we want or not.
I wonder, like the person who's like, "There's a balloon." Like who? Like that's wild to notice.
Well, I know. Well, like, yeah, the first person in Montana, or at least the video I saw, he was like, "This is the moon,"
Yeah,
and
no,
then
I
he
saw
like,
that one.
yeah,
Yeah,
he goes to the left. He's like, "But what the fuck is this?" I've done that too, but it was like for real. It was a drone that was like hovering over like my apartment complex, and I was like with the Iron Ape Tyson, and I'm like, "Dude, look at this." He's like, "That's a star." I'm like, "No," like I'm like, "Look to the left. That's a star." This is not a star. It's getting bigger and closer because they have like drones out here, like the cops do. It's
oh yeah,
insane.
I'm sure. They have drones everywhere now. There's drones constantly. I'm sure they're
Yeah,
here.
like the cops have drones. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm sure. But you can get your own drone. Just get a commercial license and you can fly it around.
I,
Although I don't know, you
to
probably have
do
to have
what?
some
What would
to
I do with it?
keep an eye out for to watch the cops watch you. You know what I'm saying? Who's watching the watchers? That's the real question.
I'm watching. I'm looking at them, like at the drone, like up in the sky. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's pretty shisty. I mean, what in Dallas? There was that one guy who went on a rampage downtown years ago, and he locked himself up in a garage, like a
Yeah,
parking garage, and they used a drone to take him out, which is
right.
crazy.
But it wasn't like an airborne drone. It was like a robot
Yeah, that's still wild. Well, now,
with a
yeah,
with a grenade.
yeah, that's insane.
And yeah, and a camera, and then they saw that he was there, and then they just threw the grenade
Like,
at him.
yeah,
He
chuck it.
he, he shot a bunch of cops.
Yeah, no,
Like
he went
he
on
was
like
he
a
was
rampage.
specifically
Yeah,
targeting cops. He didn't shoot anybody else besides cops.
yeah.
So of course, like if you have a robot with a grenade,
And this
and
dude's tucked in the back of a parking garage where no one can see him.
when else are the cops going to use their robot with a grenade other than against somebody who's shooting cops?
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
true. Pull the pin, drop the grenade. Yeah, no, I mean it's pretty interesting. And of course, Trump saying it's fake disinformation, that there was no balloon incursions during his presidency. I mean, China's
he
all
would he wouldn't even know because he doesn't like read his like daily brief. Like He's like, oh yeah, balloon, whatever, whatever. Or he was in on it.
That's possible. I mean,
He's either incompetent or corrupt or both, you know.
I wonder what they're looking for.
Well, so
Because they have satellites, man. So it's like, what
well
are they
that
going to get with that they can't get with the satellite?
so Braids and I were talking about this. Braids thinks that this is like way overblown. Which, you know, maybe it is, maybe it's not. However, the satellite thing. So the Chinese have two types of satellites that are like spying on the United States. One is like in low orbit, but that means like it comes around every 90 minutes, right? However, then they have like ones that are like way far out, like out of the orbit, and that are constantly looking on the United States. But because it's so far away, the images aren't so that like that great. So maybe like it's like you have a balloon that's only 60,000 feet in the air, and it's like not like just like rapidly going around the Earth, so you can like get like better images. I think there's just more going on to this than we know so far. Like I like the when they like went and shot that balloon down, they put a no-fly zone that was bigger than when they put a no-fly zone during 9/11. It was like the size of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's like propaganda, or but I think that it's like I don't know. It's weird. It's to me. It's I don't know. It is like super weird. Like and Anthony Blinken, our Secretary of State, was supposed to go to a meeting the next day, like in China, in Beijing. So I could see like maybe like some people in the Chinese Communist Party like wanted to like fuck the meeting up, and so they did it. But I mean, that's just me speculating.
Why would they want to fuck the meeting up?
No, I don't think that Xi Jinping, like, I don't think the majority of the CCP wanted to fuck it up, but there might be like a faction
That like
like
wants to like be subversive and sink relations between our countries
right,
to make it worse, to force
right,
somebody's hand.
yeah, because this was like this meeting was like all geared up for China to kind of suck up to us and could be like a better actor like on the global stage like after COVID and all this shit, and like we're like banning like material to be shipped to them to make microchips and all this stuff. So it was like kind of like there's always like this like part of the CCP that wants to make Americans feel like China's on our side, and so there could be like another faction
Group
where it's
that's
like
the opposite.
yeah that wants to like yeah throw a wrench in that bullshit.
Yeah, that makes sense. If they're doing low sweeping views, you'd get real high resolution,
Right.
detailed images.
But like how could like either speaking of like either you're incompetent or this is like crazy. It's like are they're so incompetent that like they can't control this balloon, and like we all see it like the day before the Americans are flying out there for a big time meeting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems weird.
No, it does. Obviously, but you'd have to send it that way, so it would
I
take
know.
some time. Like it would take some time to get to that point and be noticed.
Well, yeah, like it's been over a week now. Like
No,
it,
I know, but I'm just saying, like from beginning to end, like if you have this meeting, like you'd have to.
the meeting was planned out like in months in advance.
Just like
I mean that's just
send
me
it
that's
adrift.
me speculating.
No,
Like,
no. I'm just trying to like that makes sense. Like that's just interesting. That's really weird. I'd hope it's nothing super nefarious, but then we shoot it down. And what did China said that they have the right to retaliate or something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that?
Now, like first it was a civilian weather balloon, and then like we shot it down, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And it's like, shut the fuck up, China. Like if you had an American balloon going over like Beijing, like you would shoot it down in a
Well,
second.
but even if it was an accident, let's say it didn't actually happen and they had this meeting and it was like, oh, all right, my bad, dude. There was actually a weather balloon. Like, here's what it captured. Here's all the shit. Our bad, dude. We got lost control of it. Let's say that's it. And the US is like, all right, bet. No worries. On God. Break. They walk away. They're still going to be like, because people are like, hey, man, There's that goddamn balloon in the sky with like a Nextel fucking satellite tower attached to it. The U.S. is gonna be like, well, we're gonna shoot it down. Ball with the ball. And then the Chinese are, of course, going to be like, how dare you shoot down our stuff? Who do you think you are? Whether they give a fuck or not.
No, but they said it wasn't their stuff. That was the thing. They said it wasn't theirs. They said it was like one of their civilians.
No, that's
which literally doesn't exist
huge.
in a communist country. I know, of course, it's a lie. But the other thing is that we were able to jam it, so it wasn't actually reporting back as soon as we discovered it. And then we were able to flip it, so we were getting more data from it than the Chinese were getting from it. So we were like reverse engineering it. So it was like almost like we're getting more intelligence by keeping it up there for as long as we did. Plus, we're not shooting it down like where it falls and kills a bunch of people accidentally.
And just
like if it killed one cow, like in fucking like Wyoming,
the Biden cow massacre of 2023.
Yeah, that cow would be more famous than like the lady who got shot in the insurrection. You know, like
this cow was Daisy. Joe Biden killed it.
Yeah.
And it'd be like and it'd be like the blood, like the red would take over the screen.
Yeah.
Could you vote for a man that killed cows? Vote Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is afraid of gay people, loves Nazis, hates women's voices and opinions, and loves to tell your kids to shut the fuck up. Come to Jesus School and vote Ron DeSantis 2020.
These boots are made for walking.
Yeah.
Him and his rain boots.
Dude, get out of here. What a tool.
I know.
No, I mean, that makes sense. Like, yeah, I mean, whenever they're going to keep it up, they're going to get counterintelligence from it. You know, you want to shoot it down, obviously, someplace where it's not in a highly trafficked area. In China, they just shoot our shit down. They wouldn't care where it landed.
Yeah.
They just want the information. And they wouldn't, but like, it's.
And by the way, in like 2002, 2003, when George Bush was president, we had an actual spy plane going over China, and they intercepted it.
I remember
took it to the ground, and then held the people in the plane hostage for like 2 weeks. And then 9/11 happened, so everybody forgot.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember when they caught that.
That was wild.
Those guys. Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, because when I hear people talk about how we're worried about other people's militaries like China or Russia, the level of technology that our government has, we don't even fully comprehend or know what they're capable of doing if they had to. But also our supremacy in the air, and when it comes to that sort of technology, is out of control. I mean,
no, not true.
You don't think so?
Well, it used to be. So like when the first Gulf War, when we went into Iraq, like in the 90s, like early 90s, everybody was like shocked that we had like, you know, like the technology that we had, like with our missiles, like being smart, and like with these chips that we were using. Now everybody has the chips. So it's like the gap between us and like the next, you know, military, like, yeah, we're still ahead, but it's like shrank so much. Like,
yeah, no, I'm not saying, but I'm not saying that we're just like 10 times better, but I think there's a lot of stuff that I don't think that there's things that we even know that necessarily exist, that if they had to use them, they would. Like if a country's going to have some crazy sound weapon that's going to knock a ICB out of the fucking sky and crash it into the ocean, it's going to be ours. It's not going to be somebody else's. I think we have stuff that we don't even understand. We have bombers and jets that can't be detected by anybody's radar in the entire world, and we have better versions of those that we don't even know about. You know, like, it's to a whole nother level that like the invisibility and the, you know, the recon we're able to get without people know we're getting it, the amount of information we're able to acquire without people being aware. If they flew a Chinese spy plane over our country, we have a better chance of knowing than they would if we flew a fucking Thunderbird or flew the newest generation stealth bomber. They would have they'd have no idea it existed. Yeah,
think about when we rolled in on Bin Laden.
Yeah, they blew up a helicopter because it crashed, and they can't have anybody knowing about it.
Right, but my point is that they flew in to like their like the equivalent to West Point. Like it was like their military center is where he was hiding out, and we cruised in with 3 fucking helicopters and knew, but nobody even fucking knew until we were out of there. Like, I mean, and those are helicopters.
And they're like
Like,
quiet, yeah, like stealth copters and shit. That stuff's wild. I think that if we, the fear of what we might have that people don't know that are trying to keep up is what keeps people from trying to do some crazy shit as well. Because we can grab your satellite, start pumping information from you guys, do it, shoot it down when we feel like it's different. They're gonna like try to ground our plane and steal our shit, and we're just like, oh, just like get it over. All right, we're getting all of our shit from you, so we know where it came from, we know whose it is. You can't lie to us. It's just different. I think our leverage in the situation is different, in the fear of what we have in comparison to like, oh, what might Russia have, I think is different.
no. See, but no, that's the thing is, I think that we thought Russia had way more capabilities,
Definitely.
and they got exposed here in Ukraine. It's like, wait, they're like, wait, you guys are this incompetent? You guys are so like what Russia's competent in? They're competent in being incompetent and corruption.
Well, I mean, well, the government doesn't necessarily reflect the people and the populace of the country.
I'm talking about the government, the military.
No, well, I mean, the government and the military is made up of people. So you'll see these soldiers that don't even know what they're going for, or don't really give a shit, or don't want to go to war in the first place, and are being shipped off by Putin. So they have a bunch of people who don't even want to fight for the cause because they don't feel like it represents them or their views or what they want to do. Or they have like second cousins over there, or first cousins, or brothers and sisters, immediate family on the other side.
Well, hold on. So I heard this. Dark alert.
Here we go.
So the Wagner group, like the mercenaries that Russia has.
Yeah.
Like, so they went into like the prisons and they recruited 50,000 prisoners, and they said basically, if you come and fight with us, here, like, sign a contract, and you do it for 6 months, and then you're free to go. Turns out the Wagner group has been way more effective than the Russians. Still though, 80% casualties they take. So chances are you're not getting out of there as a prisoner, and they don't care. But listen to this. So they have officers stand, like when they're in the front line, they stand behind them, and if they try to to desert, like leave, retreat, they capture them.
Well, all right, hold up, don't get too explicit if it's super crazy.
It is, but it's real. They tie their heads to a cinder block and then hit it with a sledgehammer, ISIS style.
Dude, don't say that. That's terrible.
That's true.
Well, I know, but that doesn't mean I don't want to, like.
I know.
That's just gross. So
how gnarly is that?
Well, that's just fucked up. I mean, that's not. That's a what'd you say?
That's who we're dealing with.
Well, no, but that's like also an offshoot mercenary group.
No, it's not an offshoot. They call the guy who leads it Putin's chef.
I mean, they do some fucked up stuff. That's why I don't understand why people can support.
Still don't know anybody who supports them.
Oh, you'd be surprised, man. Like,
no, I know you do, but I don't.
Well, no, I mean, I think that because Trump isn't necessarily besmirching upon that. So like, that,
I know. Like,
there's
Kirk
a there's a
yeah, there's like a white Christian nation,
So there's a whole group that panders to that. So it's not like an offshoot to know somebody who's like, oh no, Russia's right and Ukraine's fucked up. It's like, yeah, Ukraine's super corrupt, but Russia, like Putin's one of the most fucked up people in the history of the world. So you can't compare the two. It's apples and oranges.
It's not even close. And the people are usually hyping him up, like, in the media, they're on the take, like their pockets are getting lined.
Whether they know it or not.
With rubles.
With rubles. I will line your pockets with rubles. All right, next article. Swearing on the Bible. This happened. I had to bring this up because this is super interesting, and haven't really talked about her too much. I mean, it's Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ms. Marjorie Taylor Greene, because she
MGT.
Yeah, MGT, but it's
or
MS.
MTG.
Yeah, well, because she's divorced now. She was running around. She posted a video that was super spastic, and I saw it, so I had to look into it. But she insisted that Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib had to retake their congressional oaths on the Bible. And bro, she is like running around frantically inside the building.
And on the Koran.
Being like, they swore in on the Quran and they need to swear in on the Bible. Like, what do you, I mean, you can swear in on whatever the fuck you want. And we've heard people on the right say that if it's not on a Christian Bible, then it doesn't count. It's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. What's her name? Simia, the lady that I despise. She,
Kirsten Simina.
Kirsten.
Yeah.
Simina. Oh, what a name like that. Because she's just like quirky to try to be. She swore on like a law book, didn't she? Didn't she swear on like a congressional law book? She didn't even swear on a Bible or anything.
I think she's like an atheist lesbian.
Yeah, she's LGBTQ atheist in the big pockets of big pharma. And full
contestant on Drag Race with RuPaul.
Was she?
No, just like
I was like, damn. Okay.
The outfits she wears.
I was like, what episode I have to watch? Yeah, her outfits are absurd.
I know. But
what was it? The vote.
You can't talk about a woman.
No, well, there's a vote. There's a vote that she did. Oh, like no, because she just dresses like she's quirky and it's
like
19. Like it's quirky and it's 1996. Like she looks like like
Blossom.
No, she dresses like Brittany Murphy's character in the beginning of Clueless.
She dresses like Salt and Pepper.
Like, bitch, what are you wearing? And there's a video where she's voting against something. I can't remember what the bill was, but she walks up and she goes, eek, and she's got this goofy little like mini backpack thing. It's just like she just annoys the fuck out of me.
Well, and that's probably because she's in John McCain's seat. And remember, whenever they were trying to repeal Obamacare, he like famously walked up and just like put out his hand and goes.
Yeah, but he was awesome. That was epic.
Yeah.
Hers was not awesome. Hers was
I know, but she's probably trying to channel her. She thought she was cool like John McCain.
I'm one of 3 people on the left side of the aisle.
She's a maverick, bro. She's a maverick.
No, she's not a maverick. She's a moron.
He's getting primaried.
What do you think about this, though, dude? These people that are running around like psychos trying to make these people swearing on the Bible. She's like literally running around being like, "Where live streaming? Where are they? We need to find them so they can know that they need to swear in on the Bible."
You know, we're going to explain about how you can't swear in on the Quran.
You swore on a Bible
and ask them if they would swear in.
Uphold the Constitution, and you're like pro-insurrection. Like you said, that, like if you like organized it, like you guys would have been armed and overtook the government. Like the fuck are you talking about? Like get out of here. Like you swore on the Bible, and all you do is like don't uphold your oath. So that's even worse. You're like you swore to God that you were going to do this, and then you believe in God, and now you're just like fronting God.
Like,
and also Trump, I think, swore at least on 2 different Bibles, if not a stack of 3, and one of them was Abraham Lincoln's Bible.
Why didn't you swear on a stack of 3? Why do you got a triple deck, bro?
He's overcompensating. Like he's never been in a church in his life.
And then the Bible that he held upside down, whose Bible was that? He's always just like pulling out famous people's Bibles.
Yeah.
I mean, like
that was probably like Andrew Jackson's Bible or something.
But like, as it's gone on, it's like, no, it's gotten worse. Like, this is Timothy McVeigh's Bible. Everybody's like, whoa, dude, put that back. He's like, what?
This
I
is
can do
Robert
it.
E. Lee's
Nobody
Bible.
cares. Everybody knows. This is General Forrester's. He rode horses. He hated blacks like me, so I'm Donald Trump. This is his Bible.
He's like, actually, George Santos wrote this Bible.
Yeah, this is the Bible of George Santos. Well, that's the 9th name on the inside. They're all scratched out in permanent marker. You can't tell where they are. Nobody can tell. The best guys have looked. Nobody knows. His name's George, you guys.
It's not the King George. It's the King George.
Yeah, King George version. George Santos is a time traveler. He's here to bless us, you guys. Everyone knows. Everyone, it's big deal. Bigly here. Bigly in a big way. I saw him turn water into OxyClean. It was wild, folks. And then he did my laundry. Never seen anything like it before.
And then I drank it, and that's how I got rid of the COVID.
Go figure. Non-toxic. Who would have thought? Non-toxic.
I started the Tide Pod challenge.
If you get into a Trump role, like, you can like it's like the cadence and the mannerisms. You know, you can learn to talk like him, like John Malkovich or something. But it'd be easier.
Or like Christopher Walken.
Yeah, but it'd be easier because he has like certain phrases and pauses, and he's got to boast. Bad deal. We're stealing history. Everyone knows it. You know,
I'm not saying it, but everybody's saying it.
a lot of people are talking about it, and they'll be like, a lot of people are. They're talking about it. They really are, you guys. He always has to like branch out to somebody.
For like affirmation.
I need a little affirmation, guys. Can y'all please clap? Turn the lights off. That's still one of my favorites. When he turn the lights on and they're mega bright. He's like, they're too bright. Turn them off. It's a meme. It's a meme they played when Daniel Jones choked in the playoffs against the Eagles.
Is it really choking when you're playing the Eagles? Like everybody's gonna lose.
Nah, let's save it. Ooh, it's that week. This is my hoodie that I wear on Mondays. And everyone's like, ooh, because it's like blue. But I would wear it on Mondays of a big game. And this is like a lucky thing. So I have like a process for the podcast. I have to wear certain shirts this week because it's a Super Bowl. And actually I have a big meeting tomorrow and first thing in the morning. And I'm wearing my Eagles jersey to the meeting because I'm off. So I'm going to go in my uniform and then change into it and put on the hat that sits right here with the full-blown eagle on it and run through my yearly numbers for about 15 minutes in front of the whole company in my Eagles gear. Because they've been dogging me all year about the Eagles. So, come on. And I go first. So I'm the first person to go. So everyone's like paying attention. It's going to be great.
As they should.
Yeah.
All right. You want a final topic?
Yeah, last one. I mean... We've mentioned him before. He is such a whore. Ron DeSantis has decided to. The state moves to revoke Orlando Plaza Live's liquor license. Jesus, it's a lot of L's. Following a drag queen show. This is something that we've seen go on all over the country. But when it comes to these drag shows, despite the state of Florida, and we talked about this before, will weaponize the government if you disagree with their stances. In the state of Florida, despite the horrific thing we've seen in the pole shooting in Orlando, we've seen there's been crimes against of the LGBTQ community that have happened in the state of Florida, and Ron DeSantis has kind of given a pass to it. And now he's literally punishing people like he punished Disney for taking a public stance. I guess I don't even know about public stance, just doing something he didn't agree with, and now he's looking to.
Real quick, fun fact: do you know where Ron DeSantis got married?
Disney World.
Yeah, Disney World.
It would have been tighter if it was Universal Studios, though.
But he's just like trying to flex on Disney. But you got married at Disney World like a kook.
Yeah, that's like, well, I mean, was that before he was governor? Because I think that's just like a political ploy to be like, look at how Florida I am. I got married at.
No, obviously pre-governor. He wouldn't have got elected governor if he wasn't married to like a white cis, like snowflake cracker.
Yeah, Jesus.
Just like his boots.
Yeah, I was going to tie it to the boots. Like she must have picked them out.
Fucking albino boots.
It's not that it's not even that like they're just like, it's that his jeans are tucked in. Like it's like that you care that much about your jeans, like so like you're overthinking. You're wearing those jeans to another public function like after this.
The best part about it was when Biden was in Florida, so that was when he was meeting up with Biden. So Biden's like looking like a normal person. DeSantis is like walking around in his knee-high boots like he's a Cowboys cheerleader.
Yeah, well, there was a drag queen Christmas at this location on Bumby Avenue, and it allowed minors in, so people under the age of 18. And now Ron DeSantis has decided that they violated Florida statutes, and therefore the department is revoking the venue's liquor license for sale and consumption of alcoholic beverages. And this is something I told you about before that scares me about somebody like Ron DeSantis way more than Donald Trump. Donald Trump's obviously scary for different reasons, but Ron DeSantis has no problem publicly using the government to go after people that he disagrees with, whether they're violating the law or not. He'll make up a law in the moment and executive order it to then go after you literally the next day. He's the epitome of a shitty government jag lawyer. And
he's literally going after this liberal arts college in Florida by he's trying to replace all the board of trustees with like super conservatives so that they can like shut down this gay woke liberal college.
Yeah,
So,
it's wild, and he just recently banned
okay, can we just say,
AP African American Studies in high
yeah,
school. He just
can we
bought.
just say it, dude? Can we say it? Allegedly, Ron DeSantis is probably gay, right?
You
Like the
think?
fact that the who do you know who is so anti-gay? Like
That's not gay.
throughout my entire life, the people who are the most homophobic turn out to be actually gay, and they just like hate themselves, like for being gay, like because that's how they were raised or whatever. They're like shame, like they feel shameful about it, so then they like lash out. The most homophobic people are always gay, like Lindsey Graham,
Well,
allegedly.
there's no. I hope that's not the case. That would be a tortured life. I
I don't. I feel like we're witnessing it.
Yeah, it might be. He's just full of shit, man. Like, and his ability in, like I said, public disregard. He doesn't even try to be secretive about it. He
I know.
blatantly goes after
It's the
people.
Russian playbook, dude.
And this was what, like episode, I don't know, 34 or something. I was like, man, he scares the shit out of me because
I
he
know.
just doesn't give a fuck. And he understands the legal system in a way that Donald Trump doesn't. That if he throws enough shit at a wall and gets it sent up to the Supreme Court, it might stick. And he doesn't give a fuck what it is. So in the state of Florida, like, he's got that shit on lock. I don't think the Florida government represents its people. I don't live there, so I've said a lot of times it's not my problem. I don't live there. I have my own Hot Wheel motherfucker that I got to deal with here, who's an asshat. And now it's like, oh, the trees are falling, and that's why the power is going out. Sure, dumbass. Maybe put all of the power lines underground. Like, if you had to like do that, like a lot of other places, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Schmuck. I was driving through Southlake. It cracks me up. You know that Southlake still has all.
Oh, hold on, we're talking about Abbott now,
Yeah, Abbott. Sorry, I'm on a little tangent. But
the governor of Texas.
Yeah, so in Texas, in Southlake, you know that all the power lines are above ground. Did you ever realize that? That's wild, right? Because they don't have to put them underground. Or if they did, they could afford to. And it's just funny because everybody in Southlake lives under power lines. If you live in Texas, you fall under that. I live under the power lines, kid. Everyone does. Doesn't matter where you live because
you guys
they
can't
don't
even
give a
put your
fuck.
water like underground, like you fucking water towers. Like that's how stupid your state is.
Yeah, Texas is its own issue, but in Florida, Ron DeSantis blatantly is like going after people in a different way, and he's bussing people out like old fucking cab driver Abbott over here. But DeSantis has like zero disregard and has an understanding without anybody else being in the room that makes me more nervous.
Well, okay, if he was actually elected, that is terrifying. I just don't think that he has the political chops. Like I just saw this poll where it's like some ridiculous amount of like Democrats and Republicans like do not want to see a Trump Biden rematch. So I just Gavin Newsom will take care of DeSantis real quick, dude. Real fucking quick.
Yeah, I could see, like I said before, I could see DeSantis losing his cool and not, and like losing his political composure, like on a public stage where he'd make an ass of himself, like pull a Rubio. I feel like he might Rubio this, like try to, be chugging water and looking nervous as fuck on TV, looking like a dumbass. Like I could see him pulling some shit like that.
He's really good at like punching down and like going after minorities and stuff that like don't have power.
Barking at high schoolers, take your mask off. You don't have to wear that. Come on now. Shit, look at my boots.
If he has to go stand next to a real man and like debate him, like, and I'm not talking about like Trump
An
or any of
alpha
the
like
Republicans.
me.
No, I just mean like
Runny Ron because he gets the runs.
Let's see who like he won the nomination. Like whoever the Democrats put up, or it's going to be a more seasoned politician who's not like a fucking weirdo, and he's just going to get embarrassed. Like his like little tricks aren't going to work. Like, it's like you can't like just control the conversation because you are the governor and you just tell everybody to shut the fuck up because it's Florida. Like it's like no, like this is like here's a real person, a real serious person, and they're gonna fucking clown you, dude, over and over, and he's not gonna have anything like in like that. This politics doesn't work. Like it's like it might work in Florida for right now, but I don't think it works like in the rest of the
Well,
country.
and he got owned in most of, in my opinion. I mean, in majority of the debates he went up and that he went against to get reelected. And if he's not barking at people, like you said, talking down from his podium and being shitty to people, then he really doesn't have that much power. Anybody who's nuanced on a subject and is a little bit more well-rounded or not as myopic as him would understand that he's full of shit and be able to expose him really quick. I think if one of us prepared for a debate for a month, we would dominate him. Like we'd just make him, because and our discourse would be probably like more brash because we wouldn't give a fuck. Like
Exactly.
But that's where I think someone like Trump has the ability to like make his skin bubble, because Trump's gonna run whether he gets the nomination or not. If he doesn't get the nomination, he's gonna crash it and sabotage it and try to split the vote, because he's gonna think that he can still win even if he splits the vote, and then he'll blame both sides for cheating and talk about how the whole government's corrupt. So that's where I feel like the right's really gonna pander to him and giving him that nomination, because if not, he's just gonna fucking Hindenburg their shit and crash it, and it's gonna explode.
I just feel like the Republicans right now, like the ones who are like kind of turning away from Trump, it's not because they think he's like a dangerous like menace to fucking society and like democracy in the world in general. It's because they don't think he's gonna win.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the,
but I mean,
that's the reason why they're turning against him.
But this
Like,
is the best. This is the best they got is DeSantis, man.
I know exactly.
And I think that there's the way that he's gone and conducting himself on a state level, where if you don't pay attention, if you genuinely are just like, oh, they say that he's a good guy, and that's what I pay attention to. If that's what you're hyper focused on a national stage, that vision of him's going to implode on itself, because he's done so many things. And George Santos has lied about everything to get his position. Ron DeSantis has literally offended everybody in some way, shape, or form to get to where he's at. He's just a dick, and he's like circumvented rules. How many times has he tested shit that's gone to the Supreme Court and been shot down? Just as much as it's been successful, he just throws shit at the wall to see if it sticks. He throws some scary shit at the wall. He uses the government legally, I guess. You violated Florida statutes. Oh, another Brady appearance. Hey, that was a slow roll, too, and the lights are on. Somebody's staying up late tonight. Work to do. He's a grinding man, Mr. International. He's like a white pit bull.
No, I'm Mr. Worldwide. Mr. Worldwide, Mr. Goody, get your Atlas, homie. All right. I say we wrap it up.
You got anything? No? Nothing?
I ran 4.5 miles today.
What? Why? Why were you being chased by the police?
Because I'm Andy Schultz, baby.
That's terrible.
Nah, they don't chase me, dude. I got the complexion for the protection.
Well, I got out of that fucking freeze shit, dude. That shit was wild last week. All this ice and people crashing. I was driving home from work and saw someone crash. I saw like 3 crashes. It's nuts. People in Texas are idiots when it comes to ice and driving. But yeah, no, I got nothing. Y'all just be safe. Appreciate it. 74.
Oh, so we have the 75th anniversary next week.
74. About to be 75. No, we appreciate y'all stopping by. Like, follow, subscribe, share, whatever. We always appreciate y'all swinging by. This has been fun. 75. We're getting closer to 100, dude. That's wild. Yeah, no, y'all just be good and go fuck yourselves.
Shout out.
Recording stopped.
Peace.